As per the most recent staggering development, DC Youthful Fly sent an admonition message to Jackie's specialist, cautioning that he won't let this matter be until equity is done subsequently. Apparently, the individual answerable for her less than ideal end will be rebuffed, all things considered, albeit the specific reason for Jackie's destruction is as yet unclear. It has been broadly guessed that the model's passing at 32 years old was because of the butcher specialist's dinner plastic medical procedure. Welcome to our channel, Celeb Zone. Apparently this case has been settled, and DC Youthful Fly is becoming annoyed as new data about his significant other's perishing minutes surfaced via web-based entertainment, and a few different patients of a similar specialist approached with charges. He continued and said that he will come for this specialist regardless of what, since he believed that the wrongdoer should pay for what he had done. So apparently Jackie's surgeon will at last compensation for his disappointing presentation and remissness. And amidst the request, Jackie's partner DC Youthful escape. He couldn't keep away from advance notice. The person who had basically killed the young woman he had procured the trust of with a really fair, horrible admonition cause her to appear to be wonderful. Regardless, Jacky O has succumbed to this ceaseless quest for the ideal figure. As recently revealed, the model and media character expected to shake things up this mid-year by having the very popular mom makeover method performed by her Dr. All Right, or just Dr. Zach preparing for my mom makeover. With Dr. Zach, as per the post that wasn't taken out, nobody guessed that Jacky O could never finish her promise, and a couple of days after the fact, the story would form into a request in light of the fact that, as you know, she was found oblivious in her Miami lodging on the night of May 31. Yet again, the model was proclaimed dead a couple of hours after the fact in spite of all endeavors to save her life. It's implied that the entire business was crushed at that point anyway. Apparently, DC Youthful Fly is the main individual who is more anxious to investigate the reasons for this grievous misfortune. As per the morning fellow, Dr. Zach is the superb suspect. Subsequently, there is no requirement for the examinations to be authoritatively closed. This specialist seems, by all accounts, to be famous for his shoddy capacities. And there's more going on. Late cases that this man endeavored to sue his clients for whining adversely about his work have surfaced, and they raise a serious worry for anyone pondering a medical procedure. Dr. Zach is for sure an authorized clinical specialist, yet he isn't a load-up, guaranteed plastic specialist the U.S. child detailed following the miserable event, even while it is as yet passable to do plastic tasks with just the licensor. Specialists emphatically exhort going to the specialist endorsement to bring down the risks of such therapies. Specialist Zach has not been accused of any wrongdoing, according to O's demise. Yet apparently DC Youthful Flywheel to explore the case all alone, to attempt to get familiar with reality. The C Youthful Fly is clearly unglued about the lamentable loss of his partner. Yet it appears to be that he isn't the one in particular who partners Zach's deeds with those odd passing with one of the experts. Let the press know that it's truly one of the most well-known restorative medical procedure tasks performed. But on the other hand, it's one of the most hazardous. Other plastic specialist she'd additionally light on the results of Mama Makeover. Well, the most horrendously awful may happen on the table, or even thereafter in the possession of an unfit, unique individuals, are broadly looked subsequently a couple of days after the troublesome medical procedure. Regardless of the way that this medical procedure is one of the most hazardous, Jacky didn't appear to be concerned in light of the fact that she expected to get back in shape. In the wake of bringing forth 3 kids, my weight started to increment, so I figured a chance to wrap the occasion gifts anyway. Apparently the traditional strategies for getting in shape and getting once again into shape didn't work, so Jacky chose to have Zach make an ideal build for her. As per the specialist's fans on Instagram and YouTube, she was first glad to have such a renowned client, so exceptionally that when the insight about her unexpected passing broke, the man obliterated any verification of there in any event, having met potentially just to break any connection between his work and her passing. It's difficult to contend that Dr. Zach is answerable for this debacle, since this person's activities represent themselves. And Jacky was mulling over having a medical procedure after already griping that the regular cures had bombed like DC Youthful Fly. Many fans needn't bother with the request to reach a resolution on the grounds that the data is as of now open, given that Zach's PCP had a past filled with suing displeased people who protested the way he played out this high-risk therapy. This isn't shocking. Individuals are sure that he must be charged rapidly. He ought to go to prison instead of only be sued as one individual, said truly someone else ringed, in saying that these doctors need to start confronting huge ramifications for hurting patients and their friends and family. Those kids are presently without their mom, and that is definitively the very thing that DC accepts in light of the fact that Youthful Fly won't ever find a sense of contentment until the enemy of his companion feels great and is safe. He presently has the obligation of bringing up 2 or 3 youngsters, including a kid who is 10 months old. The rapper and media superstar says he would research Jacky's horrible demise and consider responsible anyone answerable for taking her young life, since he can't deal with his despondency. As per reports, DC Youthful Fly is thinking about addressing a portion of this specialist's different patients to direct further exploration on how he rehearses medication and what kind of preparing he has. As a general rule, specialist Zach isn't a load-up insured plastic specialist. Consequently, it comes out that he wasn't so equipped as he had addressed such things didn't upset the specialist, much regardless of whether he is equipped for certificate, given he follows through with the essential tasks and finishes a progression of assessments given by the load-up well. Even prepared plastic specialists alert that these therapies can be very unsafe for people who aren't talented clinical experts. You're eliminating fat and returning it to the butt, said David Schaefer, who has a sizable restorative medical procedure practice in Manhattan. It is truly conceivable to unintentionally infuse it into one of the body's veins, assuming that it is infused in some unacceptable area. As David expressed, there are numerous doctors out there who address themselves as superficial specialists, yet in actuality, by doing therapies in their workplaces, they basically jeopardize the existences of their patients. And as you would expect, they frequently go through less change than similar specialists who have long stretches of preparing and broad experience. All of this is being finished to bring in cash and put young ladies' security in danger so they can have the body of their fantasies. Dr. Zach pursued the choice to hang out in the meantime, and the U.S. made a few bombed endeavors to reach out to him and get his open assessment. As per his office, which is as yet open, Mr. Allright isn't right now speaking with any media associations. He didn't answer messages left for him on Instagram. It is reasonable that DC Youthful Fly is unglued about this conduct, since he, like the remainder of show industry, needs clarifications to serve numerous different women who are thinking about going through comparative medical procedures. It would be ideal in the event that the reality of the situation were to become visible, assuming there was anything questionable about this purported careful practice. It's hard to tell what genuinely happens in these specialist workplaces and in secret, and unfortunately numerous non-plastic specialists pull off performing things that aren't even legitimate in their workplaces or other non-licensed regions. And as DC Youthful Fly noted, he won't ever enjoy internal harmony in the event that the fact of the matter is left well enough alone. He believes Dr. Zach should realize that he is watching out for his activities and that he is all searching for different survivors of his wrongdoing for his kids, and to pay tribute to Jacky. DC plans to research the conditions behind this sad misfortune, regardless of whether it requires some investment. Gracious, many individuals agree with DC Youthful Fly that this ought to stand out, especially from specialists. As per an analyst, This position ought to be held blameworthy for clinical carelessness at any rate, since he failed to really focus on Jacky, another client. Said that this example basically sounds insignificant, and disrupting it took her passing for his carelessness to be uncovered. He even neglected to complete the fundamental preparation regulations. Additionally, should be refreshed in light of the fact that DC Youthful Fly plans to for all time ruin his profession. The expense of this openness is by all accounts unreasonably costly, yet it seems to have kept numerous different women from going to that specialist's visit later on. What is it that you figure then? At that point, does DC need to get payback on the specialist before the request is done? Or do you truly accept that Dr. Zach was associated with Jacky Ozent? Post your thoughts in the remarks segment underneath. Remember to like and share. Additionally, buy in our feed for additional recordings. Gratitude for watching our video.